For this video, I wanted to talk about the importance of being grateful for what you have and how the attitude that you have towards what Hashem has given you affects what He's going to give you in the future. For example, when a person tries to appreciate what he has, tries to reflect upon all the things that he's lucky enough to have, for example, health, happiness, a family, a body, so many organs in our body, and all of them at every moment are functioning. And even if we have problems with our body, it still could be so much worse when you really think about it. And when you try to be grateful for what you have, then Hashem will give you even more. Because let's say on the contrary, actually, just to begin, on the contrary, when you're not grateful for what you have, that sometimes could cause Hashem to have to take certain things away from you. And then, only then maybe will you realize what you had in the first place. Did you ever notice that sometimes in life you only appreciate what you have, unfortunately, when it's gone? Yeah, and so in life, when we're not appreciative for what we have, sometimes Hashem will take that away from us. And only then do we really appreciate what we have. But now, on the contrary, on the flip side, when we're grateful for what we have, Hashem doesn't have to take away. In fact, He wants to give us more, because He sees how grateful we are, and He knows that when He gives us even more, we'll be appreciative of it. Whereas for some people, a lot of people, the more Hashem gives them, they still won't appreciate it. They still won't look up to Hashem. It's only when they need help that they look up to Hashem. But it doesn't have to be like that. If you're somebody who doesn't think about Hashem a lot, just know that Hashem is going to try to give you signs to get you closer to Him. But He's not going to speak to you like Moshe Rabbeinu. He's going to give you subtle signs, little signs here and there. And the more you don't pay attention to Him, the more He's going to give you other signs and situations. And at a certain point, He's going to put people in your life to try to spark some spirituality into your life. So sometimes when you really don't look up to Hashem, sometimes a person only looks up to Hashem when he falls down. Then he looks up to Hashem. But it doesn't have to be like that, as I said. On the contrary, Hashem wants us to connect to Him in the good times as well. A lot of people only find Hashem in the hard times, but Hashem is perfectly fine and is even more happy when people connect with them in a good time. Because you don't have to wait for hard situations to look up to Hashem. When you thank Hashem in the good times, He'll give you even more, He'll bless you. And unfortunately, when you complain, Hashem will take more away a lot of the time, because when you complain, Hashem says, okay, you're complaining. Maybe now you'll realize, maybe now when I take away even more, will you realize how lucky you were before. So again, when you thank, you receive. When you complain, you lose. And yeah, I know I've repeated this probably 5 different times, but it's just to really, for you guys to grasp this concept, because to me it was such a fascinating concept. I try now to be appreciative for what I have. I really want to be appreciative for what I have. And I know that Hashem is happy when we do that, because He's giving us everything we have, and all the fun stuff, all the enjoyable stuff that's happened to us in our lifetime, that's all from the intellect of Hashem, that's all from the imagination of Hashem's wisdom, Hashem. Everything you think that is your own life, it was thought out by Hashem for you. So when you're grateful for what you have and you appreciate everything Hashem's done for you and the unique situation you've had and the life Hashem's given you, and you really try to appreciate it, you bond with Hashem by doing that, and He wants us to bond with Him. He wants us to thank Him for what we have. He's not, even though we're nullified to Hashem and He's the King of Kings, Hashem, even with all that being said, Hashem gives us the ability to ask Him for anything. It's not like a regular king where it's rare somebody could go greet the king and ask something from the king. Unless somebody's a high up person, he won't really be able to meet the king, or he'll have to wait a long time and go through other people. With Hashem, we're all Hashem's kids. And even though Hashem's the King of Kings, we're His sons and daughters, and we could go speak to Him. We could ask Him for anything. And He doesn't only do that to bother. He of course doesn't do it to bother us. He doesn't only give us the commandment to pray for His part, but He gives us the commandment so we could do it on our part as well. And He doesn't want us to pray like robots, but to realize that we're greeting the King and we could ask Him for anything. And it's a time of meditation. When we pray to Hashem, it's a time of elevation. And and last thing I'll end with this video is, and I'm actually going to make a completely new video on this topic, but the importance of praying for others. It's very important to pray for others. And I'm actually going to make that in one of my next videos in the next week. Thank you so much.